Okay, everybody, welcome back to homerecordingmadeeasy.com, and here on the YouTube channel. And this time out, we're going to take a look at another cool plugin by our good buddies over at Black Salt Audio. This is the Telos Guitar all-in-one, simple to use to get a great guitar sound plugin. We're going to check it out today for the first time. I just got this the other day. I opened it up, played with it for 2 or 3 minutes. I said, hey, let's do it together here on the channel and listen to this on a series of different guitars. And this demo is going to be a little different from demos that you've already seen on YouTube around this, because most of the videos that I've seen when I was checking this out are all real heavy, real, modern metal, real heavy metal kind of stuff, like over the top type stuff. And that's really cool. Sounds really great on that. But I thought, well, what would happen if we did it on a session that used acoustic guitars, clean guitars, and more pop rock guitars? Let's see how it performs there as opposed to the real heavy stuff, because there's already a lot of great channels out there that have already done that. So that's what we're going to do in this video. So make sure you like, share, subscribe. If this is your first time here, go to homerecordingmadeeasy.com. I got a free mixing course I want to give you. It's a $100 course. It's my gift to you just for visiting Home Recording Made Easy. Can't miss it. Links in the description box below. Stick around to the end of the video. Going to give you something else for free. This is a sponsored video, and the Black Salt Audio sent me their whole batch of plugins and said, hey, if you want to check these out and you want to do some videos, great, but I'm not obligated to do any videos. They're not paying me for any of the videos. The only thing by them in the past that I've shown on this channel that I paid for myself, although now I got it for free, thank you Black Salt Audio, is the silencer gate, which I really like. You can check the link in the description box and go check that out. Aside from that plugin, I've never really used any of their other plugins. So when they reached out to me, they sent me all their plugins. There's a whole bunch of them. There's a drum plugin. There's a couple of one knob plugins. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to do a more fully featured set of videos around Black Salt Audio. We'll do that. But I want to check them out. This one is really cool. Well, let's check this out. So Telos Guitars. It's really the whole concept behind this, and I believe the drum plugin as well, the Telos or Telios, I think it's Telos drums, is that you don't need to know about EQ. You don't need to know about frequency points, fundamental frequencies, and all that stuff. It's all done under the hood. It's a real simple to use type of plugin to get a great sound really quickly. I'm typically not a big fan of these types of plugins because I teach mixing for a living and I do mixing for a living. And I like people to learn a little bit more about how to use EQ and fundamental frequencies and some of that stuff. And a lot of the plugins by other companies I've checked out in the past are kind of hit or miss. The Black Salt Audio stuff seems to be a little different as far as I can tell thus far. And it is really simple to use and it does sound really good. So we're going to play with it here and then I'll tell you if I give it the thumbs up or thumbs down. But so far I'm pretty impressed. Let's walk through the plugin. It's really simple. And that's the whole point. Along the left, we have an input. We have a high cut and a low cut filter, and it's all done by percentages. You don't need to know what the frequencies are. I don't know what the frequencies are. The website doesn't list what the frequencies are. The manual doesn't tell you what the frequencies are. And you know what? I guess that's okay. They picked frequencies that are dialed in for guitar tones, and that's really what matters. So good enough. Then we have an EQ section here in the middle. We can either do a peak or a shelf. On our low end here, we have a low frequency by percentage, plus or minus 100, and then a low frequency slider, or this is boosting, the boost, gain, boost, or cut. And then you have your frequency, 100% down to 0. And as we demonstrate this and I move it, you'll tell that obviously you can see that the frequencies are changing. What they are, I don't know. It's in the low end of the guitar. Then we have the mid, same thing. And then we have a high frequency, but the difference here is we just have a presence or a top, which probably changes the Q value of the EQ as you're boosting or cutting this, I would imagine. The mid frequency has a tone slider here as well. Then we have something here, which is really cool. I spent almost $200 on a plugin called Soothe 2 that does what this does, de-harshing. We'll check that out as well. It's got a de-harsh, which is nice. Then along the bottom, it's got a chug control. And again, if you go watch some of our other good friends here on YouTube, the ones that do the real heavy drop C tuning, the real palm muting type of thing, this thing does wonders to clean that up. But this can also work on heavily strummed acoustic guitars. We're going to check that out. Chug control. Then we have a simple one knob compressor with a gain reduction meter here. gain reduction meter on the low end. To me, this is probably just a low end, a compressor really focused more on the low ends, probably around the 80 to 100 hertz range is what I would guess. Then we have a little bit of saturation here, and we have three types of saturation: smooth, inflate, and focus. We'll check those out. And then we have an output. Great. We could turn on oversampling on or off. We have an output meter, and then we have a simple limiter here to make sure we're not clipping. Wonderful. There's also some presets in here if you want to check. There's acoustic guitar presets, high gain, lead, and mid gain. Close that here. And that's it. So before we got these turned on, but nothing's been done here. So before we do anything, I have these on a set of clean guitars, acoustic guitars, some mid gain, if you would, kind of classic rock guitars, and then a little more high gain stuff in the chorus. Nothing has been done. This is an unmixed song completely. We're actually working on this session to demo some other plugins. This song is called Imaginary Fears by James D. Cooler. His link will be in the description box below. We're only going to listen to the instrumental section here, not the vocal. So here's what we got with the guitars, just the way they were recorded by good old James D. Cooler. You'll see on these guitar tracks here, they start here in blue. We have our clean guitars, our acoustics in yellow, and then all our more electric guitars here in green. You can see we have a channel strip here, the SSL channel strip, it's turned off. Telos Guitars is on, but nothing's been done. The only thing we're using is auto align to make sure everything's in phase. So here's what we got so far. The drums are kind of mixed. Bass is kind of mixed. Guitars are laid in. This is a raw session. But here's what the guitars sound like. Here we go. So they sound okay. They're just raw recorded guitars. They sound great. Hello friend, I hope you're enjoying the video. Hey, if you want to learn more about working with channel strips and how to turn your DAW into an analog studio workflow, check out my new course, Mixing with Analog Style Plugins Made Easy, the 2025 edition. You'll be mixing faster with far less plugins and processing, and your mixes will sound way more consistent from project to project. And right now you can get a 25% discount by using the coupon code YouTube25 at checkout. All the links are in the description box below. I'll see you inside the course. Now back to the video. Okay, let's see if we can clean these up. So we'll start with our main guitars here in the center. These main guitar 1 and 2, these like slightly broken up, kind of Marshall-y, light Marshall-y kind of vibe here. And then we have a left and a right. We'll focus on one guitar here, and then we'll copy the other and we'll pan them left and right. So here's what we're dealing with. Okay, let's see if we can dial in something a little bit better, a little bit fuller, maybe a little less bitey on the top. Let's check it out. So let's check out these controls and see what they do. So the peak is just going to narrow the cue, make it more of a bell as opposed to a shelf, but that's kind of cool. Let's check out the mids. So just by a little bit of EQ, it clears it up a little bit, gets rid of some of that low-end mud. It just gives it a little more focus, a little more clarity. Let's check out the compressor here in the saturator. So you have three different tonal options as far as the saturation goes, which is kind of cool. I kind of like the smooth on this, but you can't really overdo it. Now these guitars could be kind of bitey. We're going to hit the de-harsher next. Then we could turn down the output a little bit as we boosted some of those frequencies. Let's level match it a little. Let's check out the chug control. Even though we're not doing palm muting, but it's a lot of bow, bow, so it's got a heavy strum at the top. Let's see if we can control that with the chug control, even though we're not really chugging. Sounds a little bit less harsh, a little bit more smooth, a little bit more open. Pretty cool, right? Let's copy that over to the, I'm just going to remove this one. What are we doing here? Remove, and I'm just going to copy to the right side, and then we'll change up the right side a little bit just so we could get a slightly different sound. Let's pan them left and right. So here are these two guitars. Put them at the same level here. Same exact settings. Let's just see what they sound like in solo. Now I'm going to change the right a little bit on the EQ just to make it sound a little different. Okay, now let's bypass these together. Keep your eye on the power button here. Brings a lot more focus. Let's put in the context of the mix, and let's turn down these acoustics and these clean guitars here. Let's turn those down. And let's just listen to these guitars, and I'll take this the Telos Guitars in and out. Well, it is super simple, that's for sure, right? You really can't get much more simple than that. Let's try these. These guitars are a little bit heavier here. Let's try these. These are a little heavier. This, I mean, not a lot heavier. This is not a big metal track. This is more of a, like I said, you can hear already just by the tune. It's more of a, you know, more of a laid back kind of a rock track, you know, Google Dolls-ish, that kind of a track. It's that kind of a track. So let's see what we got here. That's about as heavy as it gets, folks. Okay, let's check this out. This will be fun. All right, so let's bring out this one guitar here. Here we go. Let's see. We use a chug control on this one. Let's chug it out here. Let's see. Not bad, not bad. Let's, can we copy this preset? Sure we can. We can copy this preset. Let's copy that to the other side. We'll do the same thing. We'll go left and right. Here's the other side. Let's paste it. All right, let's try that. Let's bring this back to Unity. We'll bring it back to Unity. We'll pan this one hard left. We'll pan the other one hard right. And let's just see what these two sound like together. Oops, Unity. Here we go. Not bad. Brings a little bit more clarity. I mean, again, you can dial this in to taste. We're going kind of quick here to keep this video somewhat short, and we're getting on 20 minutes already. Okay, let's just try, let's just try acoustic guitar, and then we'll end this video. So far, we have two sets of electrics, one a little heavier than another, but what happens if we do it on a kind of a strummed acoustic? Let's check one of their presets out. They have acoustic presets, body and warmth. That's what this sounds like it needs. So let's check that out. Body and warmth. let's try copying that over to another one. In solo, not so much, but when we put it in the mix, let's just see what that is going to sound like. Let's paste it over here. Body and warmth with a little bit of tweak, and then let's pan this left and right. This is a cool plugin. I mean, again, if you want something that's just going to be quick to dial in, this is it. I mean, let's lower this down a little. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away all these Telos guitars across these 6 tracks here. So let's just take them away. Here we go. Get a better loop than that. Let's get the loop where everything is kind of playing here. Here we go. I will say it is a nice, easy way, again, just playing with this for a few moments. This is a nice, easy way to just dial stuff in and not having to worry about the frequencies and EQs and all the things you have to worry about. You just got to get in there and twist some knobs so it sounds good. I like the fact that it could be very subtle, or it could be pretty drastic. I'm using it in a little more of a subtle way just to clean things up and to get things a little bit more focused. And if I spent a little more time with this, we would even get it dialed in a little bit better. And again, this is the only processing on these guitars. They're completely raw. There's no other processing that it's going through except the Auto Align plugin. So I think this is really cool. You can check their website for current pricing. I'll leave it in the description box below. It's not an affiliate link. I don't get anything whether you check their stuff out or not. But if you're looking for something that just cleans up guitars, gets a good guitar tone very quickly, this is definitely one to check out. I kind of like it, and I'm getting more and more impressed with Black Salt Audio. The more of their plugins that I see, that I kind of toy around with, the better. I'm going to use this inside of our full mix that we're going to do here on YouTube. Again, make sure you like, share, subscribe so you learn all about that. So thanks so much for checking out Telos Guitars by Black Salt Audio. As I said at the beginning of the video, go out to homerecordingmadeeasy.com, get that free mixing course. It's right on the home page. Links in the description box below. You can check that out. And there's also a 25% discount coupon code link that you can use as well if you want to take one of my other paid training courses. So thanks so much to Black Salt Audio for sending this to me. And let me know what you think in the comments below. And until the next video, I've been Dave with homerecordingmadeeasy.com. Thank you so much for watching me, everybody. I'll see you guys in the next video.